everybody, welcome back to my channel, Mrs. Buitenbeentje. You guys are here for my coat dyeing video. And back in 2015 when I created this coat, I never added pockets. So that's what I'm doing right here. This is pattern number 104. It is of the Burda 2011 of December 2011, and I located pattern piece 13 on the pattern sheet, and I'm just going to use my pattern paper to draw it out so I can cut it and dye it together with my coat, since the jean, I don't have the same jeans fabric that I had before. What I'm showing you right here are magnets that I use to determine the seam allowance. Each magnet is 0.5 millimeters. My Dutch is coming out. And so the Burda magazine patterns does not include seam allowance, and so they do indicate how much the seam allowance is supposed to be, which is 1.5 centimeters. So I have 3 of those magnets connected to my scissors, so I don't have to draw on the seam allowance and then cut it out, but I can do both steps in one sitting. And you get about 10 of them you get 10 of the magnets in one little package, and so you have 5 centimeters, and you just attach them, or the magnet just attached to the scissor, and then you can just have your seam allowance. I'm just showing you here the 2 different color jeans fabric that I have, which I'm going to color with the dye. Instructions: I have to soak the fabric in some cold water, or I have to just soak the fabric, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm making sure that I have the 2 pocket pieces, pattern pieces, as well as my coat completely submerged in water, and I let it soak for 15 minutes. Per the instructions, I'm just making sure that I have salt weighed to 250 grams that I need to use for the dye. Using the brand Dylon Color Navy that I bought at the Kruidvat, and it is this small little packet. I didn't buy the correct amount. I should have bought the pod, and then this whole process would have been in the washing machine, which is much easier. But I bought this one, so I'm just going to fill the container right here with 500 milliliters of water, of 40 degrees Celsius water, open the packet, and then empty it all the way in the container to create the pigment, and then we'll move on to the next step. We are back at the dyeing station, and I'm just adding the 250 grams of salt to the water. I'm going to mix it. I started mixing it with those 2 wooden popsicle sticks. So I decided to just use my hands, because I have my gloves. It's very important to wear gloves in this process, and just dissolve the salt as much as possible. And then the next thing is to add the pigment. Also mix that as well as possible, making sure that I have all of the dye out of the container into my mixing bucket. And then the next step is just to make sure that I don't feel any grains underneath at the bottom of the bucket, and then just add my coat as well as the pocket pieces to the dyeing bucket, and then submerging it. And I had to like turn it and for about 15 minutes constantly, and then afterwards I had to do that for 45 minutes off and on, just to make sure that the dye was everywhere, that my coat was well submerged, that the color, that I didn't get any spotting or anything. So that is what I did. So I decided to just take my iPad and watch some YouTube videos while I had to turn the water, making sure that everything is covered well. At this stage is where I have, after the 45 minutes, is where I start to rinse the pieces with cold water. I rinsed them a few times, and I use 2 different buckets. So one where I hold the wet clothing, and one where I have the water running for cold water, and just rinsing everything. I believe that the rinsing part of this process is just to seal the color, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to use a product that I found at the Kruidvat, which is going to make my coat waterproof. And I just had to fill up 6 liters of water, pour in the entire bottle, and then mix it up a little bit, and then submerge my clothes into this mixture and make sure that they stay in there for 15 minutes. As indicated on the bottle, after the 15 minutes, I put the clothing in the machine, I load them in the machine, and then I start the program at 30 degrees, that is without fabric softener or laundry detergent, and I put it at perfect speed so that it will finish faster with extra water. And then I'll just show you that I don't have any fabric softener or detergent in the machine. And after that, this is the last step before I hang it up so it could dry, and then you'll see the end result. I really hope that you can see the difference, because I surely don't. As always, I enjoy making this video. I hope you enjoy watching. Don't be afraid to comment down below if you have any questions or just want to say hey. And you have a